Hello everyone, it's Isaac here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be making some Chinese turnip cakes. This is something you get in dim sum restaurants a lot, but especially around this time of year to celebrate Chinese New Year. They're delicious and easy to make, so let's get started. For those of you who have never had turnip cake before, this is actually a savoury dish. It's not a cake in the traditional sense, but it is very delicious and it packs a ton of flavour. This is because we're using Chinese sausages and dried shiitake mushrooms, and like all cured and dried ingredients, these are very intense in flavour, so what we want to do is to chop it into little pieces so we can spread out evenly throughout the dish. You may have noticed I've rehydrated the mushrooms already by soaking them in warm water for about an hour before we cook. This is really for two reasons. The first is to make it easy to cut, the second is to make sure it soaks in more of the seasoning. So, put in a little bit of sugar, soy sauce and rice wine. Make sure you give it a good mix and set it aside before moving on to the onions. And just like before, chop this up into little pieces and set aside. Okay, moving on to the main ingredient of the recipe, which is of course the turnip. Now the skin can be a bit bitter and tough, so make sure we peel that off first before passing it through a grater. I'm going to use a food processor because I'm lazy, but feel free to do it by hand. But if you are doing that, make sure you watch out for your fingers because the turnip can get quite slippery and you don't want to hurt yourself. In terms of how finely you want to grate the turnip, it's down to your personal preference. I've gone for a medium grain here because I like a bit of that texture in the end product, but it's all down to you. So adjust accordingly, thicker grain for more texture, finer one for less. To bring the dish together, what we're going to do is to make a very thick paste using rice flour. I am also using the water we soaked the mushroom with from before, so we're not wasting any of that wonderful flavour. Okay, now that everything's prepared, it's time to get cooking. Start by frying off your ingredients in the pan to bring out all the oils and the sugars until it's nice and golden brown. Next, we want to balance out the natural bitterness of the turnip. And to do that, we're going to cook the turnip in a bit of water and a little bit of sugar. Give it 5 minutes and eventually it will turn a little bit transparent, just like this. And finally, we want to bring the dish together by mixing everything in. Start off with your rice flour paste. It'll be quite thick at first, but keep on mixing until it's fully incorporated. Once that's done, you can move on to your fried ingredients. Again, keep on mixing until everything is evenly spread out. Transfer everything to a heat-proof container, so this can be glass or metal, because what we're going to do next is to steam it. Make sure you have enough water in your pot, put it on high heat and put 40 minutes on the clock. And it should come out something like this. Technically, this is now ready to eat, but to make sure we get the restaurant experience, we're also going to take another step to fry it. To do that, just wait for it to cool and solidify so that we can cut it into 1-inch slices. In a hot pan with some oil, give each side a couple minutes and then you're ready to plate. And here you are, some very delicious turnip cake, just like the ones you get in dim sum restaurants. As you can see, it's not a very difficult recipe, so give it a go. As usual, any questions, drop them down below. Full recipe will be on my blog, which I'll link in the description box. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up and I'll see you guys in the next one.